So good morning to all participants. Welcome you all for the online STTP on Bloom's Taxonomy, Higher Order Thinking Skills in Electronics and Communication Engineering. In the last session, we discussed about some of the GATE question paper. So in today's session, we'll discuss with the remaining GATE questions from microprocessor. Myself is M. Praveen, Assistant Professor, EC Department, Savitha Engineering College. So before start our today's session, first let them see the GATE syllabus. Actually, the GATE syllabus for a microprocessor comes from subdivision of section 5. So the section 5 is digital circuits. So in section 5, most of the topics from digital circuits. So only few topics will be from the microprocessor. So you can see that syllabus for microprocessor. So the highlighted one is the syllabus. So the first topic from microprocessor is 8085 microprocessor architecture. So I think most of them are familiar with 8086 microprocessor, because if you take a syllabus for 13 regulation, 17 regulation, so you have the 8086 architecture. So don't worry, 8085 is more or less similar to 8085. So the architecture of both 8085 and 8086 both are same. The only thing is the registers will be different. So if you take 8086, you have AX, BX, CX, DX. But if you take 8085, so instead of AX, BX, CX, DX, you have BC, DE, HL register pair. Okay, so AX, BX, CX, DX are 16-bit registers. So here the 16-bit registers are BC. So B is 8-bit register, C is 8-bit register. So if you combine both, then you will be getting 16-bit register. So BC is a register pair. So it's a 16-bit register. Then DE is a register pair. So 16-bit register. Then HL is a register pair. So it is also 16-bit register. Then accumulator is common for both 8085 and 8086. So in 8086 you have AX. In 8085 you have accumulator. So accumulator is a 8-bit registers here in 8085. Okay. The other thing are common. So you have ALU in 8085 and 8086. Then there is no memory in 8085 as well as for 8086. The other thing functions more or less are same. So 8085 is 8-bit processor and 8086 is a 16-bit processor. Okay. So if you go through the architecture, then you can easily able to understand. So the first topic is the 8-bit microprocessor architecture. Then the next one is the programming part. So programming part is nothing but the instructions, instruction set of 8085. So the instruction set of 8085 are more or less same as that of 8086. So if you take addition for 8086, the instruction is ADD. So similar to 8085, you have ADD. Subtraction also SUB. So in 8086 also you have SUB. So more or less, if you compare both instruction set of 8085 and 8086, both are will be same. So you can easily able to understand all the instruction set. And very important thing is you should most concentrate on instruction set of 8085, because most of the questions will be asking only from the programming part. So better you should first familiar with the instruction set of 8085. Okay. Then the last very thing is memory and IO interfacing. Okay, so already you know about memory interfacing and input output interfacing with 8086. The same thing for 8085. So instead of 8086, you are going to replace 8085. So remaining concept, everything will be same as that of the 8086. Okay, so this is syllabus. Okay, so if you take a syllabus, it will be very simple. We have only 3 topics, and if you are very familiar with the 3 topics, you can able to attend 2 or 3 questions from GATE exam. Okay, now we'll move on to the today's session. So this is the question number 1. So first I will read out the question. The following program is run on 8085 microprocessor. So then the address is in 2000 address. The instruction given is LXI SP, 1000. Then 2003 address, the instruction is push H. In 2004 address, the instruction is push D. Then in 2005 address, the instruction is called 2050. In 2008, the instruction is pop h. In address 2009, the instruction is HLT. Then at the completion of the execution of the program counter of 8085 contain dash and the stack pointer contain dash. Okay, so they have given the program. So after the completion of the program, we have to find what is the program counter address and stack pointer address. Okay, so can anyone guess what is the answer? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instruction. So LXI, push H, push D, then call instruction and pop H. I think you can easily say what is the address of program counter. You can able to guess what is the address for program counter. Can anyone guess what is the address for program counter? Okay, let me tell you the answer with the explanation. Okay, so this is a program given. So I have no time to prepare for the slide, so I have insert the handwritten work. So this is the stack. Okay. So start with the first instruction. So in the first instruction, the address is 2000. So in 2000 address, the instruction is LXI SP, 1000. So LXI is nothing but loading the data to the specified register. Okay. So here the specified register is stack pointer. So stack pointer is a 16-bit register. So LXI SP, 1000 means loading the 1000 data or address to the stack pointer register. Okay. So after executing the first instruction, now the current address of the stack pointer is changes to 1000 here. So just see the stack here. This is a stack. This is a stack. So in the stack, the current address is now it's 1000. Okay, I think everyone know what is stack. So stack is nothing but a temporary storage of a memory. Okay, so we can temporarily store the data in a stack. Okay. Then the next instruction is push H. Okay, so then the 2003 address, the instruction is push H. So push H is nothing but pushing the HL content into the stack pointer. Okay, push H means, so H is a register and L is also a register, so HL register pair. So push H means pushing the HL register pair content into the stack. So now the address of the current stack is 1000. So while executing the push H, now the address will be decrement by 1. So from 1000, if the stack pointer is decrement by 1, then it will become 0 F F F. So in 0 F F F, they will move the H content into the stack. Okay. So after placing the H value into the stack, then once again the stack pointer will be decrement by 1. So if it is decrement by 1, then now the new value of the stack pointer is 0 F F E. So 0 F F F minus 1, it will become 0 F F E. So here it is hexadecimal operation. Okay. So 0 F F E. So in 0 F F E, they will push the L value into the stack. Okay. So after executing the push instruction, now the current address of the stack pointer is 0 F F E. Okay. Then the next in 2004 address, the instruction is push D. Okay. So push D means same as push H, that is moving the data. Moving the data of DE. Okay, so D means DE register pair. Okay, that is moving the DE register pair into the stack. Okay, so now the current address is 0 FFP. Okay, so while doing push D, now the address will be decrement by 1. If it is decrement by 1, now the new stack pointer address is 0 FFD. So in that address, the D value will be pushed into the stack. So after getting the D value, then once again once again, uh, the stack pointer will be decremented by 1. So now the stack pointer value is 0 FFC. Okay. So in 0 FFC, they will push the E content here. Okay. So after the push D instruction, the current stack pointer address is going to be 0 FFC. Okay. Then the next instruction is very important. So the third instruction is they have given call 2050. Okay. In 2005 address, they have given the instruction as call 2050. So now you should be know what is meant by program counter. So everyone know what is my stack pointer. So stack pointer is nothing but a stack which is used to temporarily store the data. Okay. So program count for call instruction, you should know what is the program counter. So program counter is nothing but it's a 16-bit register. Okay. So which is used to store the address of next instruction to be executed. Okay. So if you take call instruction, so the call instructions are currently in the address of 2005. Okay. So while doing this instruction, the program counter value is going to be the next address of the instruction. So the next address of the instruction is 2008. In 2008, you have pop h. Okay. So before doing the call instruction, the program counter will store the next instruction address. So here the next instruction address is 2008. Okay. So before doing call instruction, the program counter value is 2008. But actually, what is happening here is, so here we are going to call. Here we are going to call the address from 2005 to 2050. Okay, so which means that the program will be skipped from the current program to some other address. Okay, so while doing, so before doing this instruction, actually the next instruction is going to be from the address of 2050. Okay, so before skip the program from 2005 to 2050, there will be some process will be happen inside the processor. So the first thing is they will push the current program counter address. Okay, the current program counter address is going to be 2008. So this address is now pushed into the stack pointer because the next program counter address is going to be 2050. So therefore, they have to change the current address of 2008 to 2050. So therefore, they will temporarily move the 2008 address into the stack pointer. So we know that the current stack pointer address is 0 FFC. Okay, so after push D, the current stack pointer address is 0 FFC. So while pushing the 2008 address, so the program stack pointer will decrement by 1. So after decrement by 1, it will become 0 FFB. So in that address, they will push the 20. Okay, higher order will be pushed here. Then after that, again, once again, it will be decrement by 1. So after decrement by 1, then it will become 0 FFA. So in that address, they will push the 0 8. Okay. Then now the stack pointer address is 0 FFA. Okay. So after pushing the program counter, the old program counter value into the stack, now what will happen here is now the new program counter value is going to be 2050. So after moving the 2008 to the stack, now the program counter is replaced by 2050. So after replacing 2050, now the program will be skipped from 2005 address to 2050. So this is 2050 address. So actually here the instructions are not given in the question. So in 2050 they will have some instructions. So that instruction will be executed. And finally, after the call instruction, so you have some instruction. So after that instruction, you will have the return instruction. So return instruction is used to return back to the main program. Okay, so actually we are skipping the program from 2005 to 2050. So from 2050 we'll have some instruction. So that instruction will be executed. Once the instruction is over, we'll have the return instruction. So after the return instruction, the program will be returned back to the main program. Okay. So So after execute the return instruction, now what will happen to the program is, so during the return instruction, actually the program has to be returned back to the main program. So the main program next instruction is going to be pop fetch. So already we execute the call 2050. So after execute the return instruction, the program will be returned back to pop fetch. So in pop fetch, you have the address as 2008. Okay, so now what will happen during return instruction is, now the program counter value is going to be 2008. So what we'll do is, now they will pop up the already stored program count, already stored value in stack pointer to the program counter. So already we stored 2008 in stack. So now during return instruction, so this 2008 will be pop off from the stack pointer to the program counter. Okay, so after getting this 2008, so during pop instruction, what will happen to the stack is, now the current address of the stack is 0FFA. So during pop of the data from 2008, what will happen is, from current address we have 08, so that will be moved to program counter. Then after that, the program counter will be increment by 1. So after increment by 1, now the program counter, sorry, stack pointer will be changes to 0FFB. So in 0FFB you have 20, so that will be moved to the program counter. So now the program counter value is 2008. Okay, so after execute, after moving this 20, now the current address of the stack pointer is going to be 0FFC. Okay, 0FFA will be moved to program counter, 0FFB value will be moving to program counter. So after moving these two data, the current address of the stack pointer is going to be 0FFC. Okay, so now we got the program counter value as 2008. So after getting the 2008, now the program will return back to this address. Okay, so currently the stack pointer address is 0FFC. Okay, now in 2008, what you have is pop fetch. So pop fetch means moving the data from stack to HL register pair. So this is the opposite of push instruction. Okay, so pop fetch means moving the data from stack to the HL register pair. So currently the stack pointer address is 0FFC. Okay, so now while doing pop fetch, what will happen is, the current value is the current value from the address is E. So this will be now moved to similarly this will be moved to L, and similarly D will be moved to H. So after pop H, what will happen is, now the content of HL will be replaced by the value of DE. Okay, so the value of D and E is now moved to the HL register pair. So after doing pop instruction, the current address is going to be 0FFE. Okay, so this will be, in 0FFC you have E, that will be moved to L. In 0FFD you have D, that will be moved to H. So after moving these two data, now the current address of the stack is going to be 0FFE. Okay, so after doing pop H, then the next program counter, because we need program counter and stack pointer value. Okay, so current stack pointer value is, after pop H, the current stack pointer value is 0FFE. Okay, so next thing is pop H. After pop H, the next instruction is HLT. Okay, so HLT, everyone know what is HLT. So HLT is nothing but to stop the program. Okay, so after HLT, the program will be stopped. So at 2009, while doing 2009, what will happen to the stack pointer program counter? That is very important. So currently the stack pointer address is 0FFE. Okay, then the program counter value is going to be the address of the next instruction. Actually in 2009 you have HLT. So after 2009 you have the addresses 200A, but 200A there is no instruction order. But even though there is no instruction, that address will be the program counter address. Okay, so during 2009, the address of the program counter is going to be the next address. So here HLT is a 1-byte instructions. So that 1-byte instruction is stored in 2009. So after 2009, the next instructions to be from 200A. Okay, so that 200A is going to be the program counter address, and the stack pointer address is currently now 0FFE. So therefore the answer for the question 1 is program counter is equal to 2000A, and stack pointer value is going to be 0FFE. Okay. Let's move on to the second question. In an 8085 microprocessor, the instruction compare B has been executed while the content of the accumulator is less than that of register B. As a result, they have given 4 options. So in option A, carry flag and will be set and 0 flag will be reset. In option B, carry flag will be reset but 0 flag will be set. In option C, both carry flag and 0 flag will be reset. In option D, both carry flag and 0 flag will be set. Can anyone guess what is the answer? I think it is a very simple question. So after compare B, what will happen to the, definitely doing compare instruction, the flag value will be affected. So here the what will happen to the carry flag and 0 flag? So 4 options are given. I think everyone can be able to answer this question. Can anyone be able to guess what is the answer? Yeah, let's see what is the answer here. So here the instructions given is compare. First you should know what is the compare instruction. So here compare B means we are going to compare the accumulator value with B register. Okay. So compare instruction is a one byte instruction. So while comparing the accumulator value with B register, there will be 3 conditions to be checked. In the first condition is if A is less than B. Okay. So here the register is B register given. Compare B. So if A is less than B, then what will happen to the carry and 0 flag? So if A is less than B, so A is less than B, that is A minus B. Compare instruction nothing but subtracting A minus B. Okay. So if the A value is lesser value and B is higher value, means while doing subtraction, definitely the carry will be going to be 1. So we are subtracting the lowest minus highest. Therefore, definitely carry will be 1. And 0 flag is going to be reset. So reset means 0. So if the A and B value, if the A and B value both are non-equal, means definitely there will be an answer will not be 0. So if the answer is non-zero, means then the 0 flag will be going to be 0. So if the answer is 0, means then the 0 flag value is going to be 1 here. So according to the first condition, if A is less than 1, then you will be having the carry. So carry 1 means carry flag is going to be set and 0 flag is going to be reset. The second condition is if A is equal to B. Okay. So if A is equal to B, means both are same value. So both are same value means there will be no carry. Okay. So the carry flag is reset here, but the 0 flag is going to be 1. Okay. So the flag is set only if the result is 0 here. So here both A and B are same value. So if you subtract A minus B, then you will be getting the answer is 0. So if it is 0 means then the 0 flag is going to be 1 here. Okay. The third condition is if A greater than B. Okay. So if the A is greater than B means then A minus B. So while subtracting highest value minus smallest value, definitely you will not getting any carry. Therefore, carry will be reset and 0 flag is also going to be reset. Therefore, the answer is non-zero only. Therefore, 0 flag is also reset here. Okay. So now here in the questions itself they get given that is the accumulator is less than the B register. Okay, so A is lesser value and B is greater value. So while comparing A with B, definitely among the 3 conditions, the conditions to be satisfied here is the first condition, that is carry flag is set and 0 flag is reset. Therefore, the answer for the question is option A, carry flag will be set but 0 flag will be reset. Okay. Let's move on to the third question. This is also a simple question. You can be able to guess what is the answer. So consider the sequence of 8085 instruction given below. So 4 instructions are given. LXI H, 9258, MOV A, M, CMA, MOV M, A. So then they have given 4 options. So in A, B, C, D, so 4 options are given. Can you guess what is the answer for the question? Yeah, let's see the answer. if someone is. Now let's see the answer for the question. So the first instruction is LXI H, 9258. So LXI means loading the data to HL register pair. So here the data is 9258. So LXI H, 9258 means loading the 9258 data into HL register pair. Okay. Then the next instruction is MOV A, M. Okay. So here M is nothing but memory. So A is nothing but accumulator. So according to this instruction, MOV A, M means moving the data from memory to accumulator. So now the very thing important is we should know the address of the memory. Okay. So in 8085, the address of memory is always defined by the HL register pair. So now the HL register pair value is 9258. So MOV A, M means now the M will point out the HL content here. So here the content is 9258. So now the address of the memory is going to be 9258. Okay. So MOV A, M means moving the data from the address of 9258. So now 9258 is considered as address. In that address, definitely there will be some 8-bit data. Okay. So that 8-bit data is now moved to accumulator. Okay. So after moving the data to accumulator, then the third instruction is CMA. So CMA means complement accumulator. So now we have some values in A. So that value is now complemented. Okay, that is CMA. So after complemented, then the fourth instruction is MOV M, A. So now the value of A is nothing but the complement of A. So that value is now moved to the memory. Now the address of memory is defined by the HL content. So now the HL content is 9258 only. So therefore, according to MOV M, A, the complement of the accumulator value is now moved to the address of 9258. Okay. Therefore, the answer for the question is option C. The complement of location 9258 or sorry, the content of location 9258 are complemented and stored in location 9258. Okay. Let's move on to the fourth question. It is desired to multiply the number 0AH by 0BH and store the result in accumulator. The numbers are available in register B and C respectively. A part of the 8085 program for the purposes given below. So they have given some program, but in that program some of the instructions are missing. So we have to find what is the instructions missing instruction. So here 4 options are given, A, B, C, D. So we have to find which one is the missing instructions from the given program. Can anyone guess what is the answer? So they clearly given that the program is for multiplication of 2 numbers. Okay. So in the first line itself they given it is desired to multiply the number 0A by 0B. So we are going to multiply 0A by 0A with 0B. So all are hexadecimal value. So we are going to multiply 0A with 0B. So for this multiplication, they have given some instruction and left out instruction we have to find. So 4 options are given. Can you able to guess what is the answer? Yeah, let me tell you. So before to find the answer, first you should know what is the concept behind the multiplication. Okay. So let's see the next slide. So generally, how will you do multiplication in 8085 is actually we have addition subtraction instructions. So by using the addition instructions only, we are going to do the multiplication. Okay. So the concept is very simple. So here the given value is 0A and 0B. But what is the condition here is that 0A and 0B are currently stored in B and C. Okay, so just see the question here. The numbers are available in register B and register C, which means that B will have 0A and C will have 0B. Okay, and now see the instructions here. In the first instruction, they have given MOV A comma 00. So according to this instruction, we are moving the data 00 immediately to accumulator. Now the value of A is 00. Okay, in the program itself, they are given the B value as 0A and C value as 0B. So based on that, we have to find the left out instruction. Okay, so this is a concept. So if you take 0A and 0B, okay, so 0A is the hexadecimal value. So the corresponding decimal value is 10. Okay, if you take 0A, the decimal value is 10. And if you take 0B, so 0B is hexadecimal value. If you take decimal value, then it is 11. Okay, so here we are going to multiply the 10 with 11. Okay, actually how we are going to use the logic here is, we can do two method. In one method, we can 11 times the summation of 10. Okay, so the second value is 11. So if you do 11 times the summation of 10, that means you'll be getting the 110. If you multiply 11 with 10, you'll be getting 110. That is one concept. Okay, so here we have that 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 times we are going to sum that 10. That is a one concept. In second concept, we can do 10 times the summation of 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 times we are going to sum the 11 number. So by using two method, we are getting the same answer, 110. Here also we are getting 110. Here also we are going to get 110. Okay, this is the logic. So we are going to add the one of the value for the second value times. That is the concept. So now in the program, 0A and 0B, so 0A, 0B are the two multiplication value. So here what I am going to do is, I am going to do 0A. That 0A is 10. So I am going to do the 10 for 11 times. So 11 times I am going to add the 10 value. Okay, so this is the instructions already given. Okay, MOV A comma 00. So this instructions already given, and along with that they have given B and C value. So B and C value is given as 0A and 0B. Okay, so next what we have to do is, we have to find the missing instruction. So here the missing instruction is, after getting A is now 0, 0. Okay, now B value is 0A. So next what we have to do is, first we have to add A value with B. Actually the instructions for addition is ADDB, ADDC. So for all addition instruction, the addition will be finally results stored only in accumulator. ADDB means A will be added with B and results are stored in A. If you take ADDC means A will be added with C and the result is going to be stored in A. So initially we have given A value is 0. So while doing ADDB, now the B value is 0A. That 0A will be now added with A. So now A value is 0. So A plus B now will be getting same 0A. Now this 0A is now stored to accumulator. Okay. So for first addition, we are getting the A value as 0A. Next in C, we have the value as 0B. Okay, in C, the question itself they are given. In C, you have the value as 0B. Okay, so here decrement C. So decrement C, what will do decrement C is, it will decrement the current value of C by 1. Now the value of C is 0B. So if you decrement the value by C, it will become 0A. Okay, so after getting C equal to 0A, now we have to check for the condition. This is called as a conditional jump instruction. So J N Z. So J N Z, what will do J N Z is jump non-zero. Okay, if the C value is non-zero means the condition is true. If it is true means the program will be transferred to this address. So now the C value is 0A. So 0 is a non-zero. Therefore the condition is true. So now it is true means now the program will be transferred to this address. So here already we have the instruction ADD-B. So previously the A value was 0A. So now 0A will be added with B. Now B value is 0A. So 0A plus 0A will be added. So now you got a new answer. That answer is now moved to accumulator. So after moving the value, then again we are going for decrement C. So decrement C means now the C value is 0A. So by decrement by 1 by C, then we'll be getting as 0, 9. So the same. So again, the check for the condition. If it is non-zero, then again program will be transferred. So the same process will be repeated for how many times? That is for 11 times. So 11 times the same value of 0A will be added. Okay. So after getting 11 times, then the condition is failed. So after getting conditions failed, then program will be stopped here. Okay. So therefore, the missing answer for the question is option D, that is add B. So already A value is 0, 0. So that value is going to be added with B. Then decrement C. And the third one is JNZ loop. Okay. Next, we'll move on to the next question. In an 8085 microprocessor, the following program is executed. They have given the address, location, and instruction. So what we have to find is at the end of the program, the register A contain dash. Okay, so after the completion of the program, we have to find what is the value of accumulator, that is A. I think this is a very simple program. I think you can be able to guess what is the answer. I think many of you are thinking that 30H is the answer, but actually that is not the correct answer. So I'll tell you what is the answer here. Okay, so the first instruction is XOR A. Okay, so I think everyone know what is XOR logic. If two values are same, then the output of the XOR is going to be 0. If two inputs are different, then the output of the XOR is going to be 1 here. So here in first instruction, XOR A. So XOR A means we are doing XOR with A and A. So if the instruction is XOR B means, then the instruction is A XOR with B. But here it is given as XOR A. So XOR A means A will do XOR with A. Okay. So here A and A both are having same value. So if same values are doing XOR, definitely the answer of A is going to be 0 here. So after doing XOR A, now the value of A is 0. Then the next instruction given is MVI B, 04. So MVI means immediate moving of data. Okay, MVI B, 04 means here 04 is the data. That data is now immediately moved to B register. Okay, so after the second instruction, now the B value of B is 04. Okay, and the third instruction is MVI A, 03. Okay, so this is same as previous instruction. So MVI A, 03 means immediately moving the data to accumulator. Here the data is 03. So after this instruction, now the value of A is 03. Okay, so B value is 04, A value is 03 now. Next instruction is just see the program. The next instruction is RAR. So first you should know what is meant by RAR. So if you're able to understand RAR, then you can easily guess the answer. So RAR is nothing but rotate, accumulator, write with carry. Okay, RAR means just see the RAR here. So RAR means rotate, accumulator, write through carry. Okay, so but in that given instruction, the carry flag is not defined here. So just see the program here. The carry flag is not given. So if it is not given means we have to assume the carry flag value is 0. Okay, so let's assume that carry flag is 0. So now see how the RAR instruction is doing. So this is a 8-bit value. So A0 to A7 are the we are going to rotate right with carry for the accumulator value. So this is the 8-bit accumulator value A0 to A7. So this is a LSB to MSB A0 to A7. So now the value of A is, we know that A value is previously at 03. Okay, just see A value 03. So now you are going to rotate 0, 3 through right along with carry. Now the carry value is assumed as 0. Okay, so how the value is rotated here is, it will be rotated from MSB to LSB. Just see the diagram here. So it will be rotated from A7 to A6, A6 value to A5, A5 to A4, and so on. A0 value will be finally moved to carry, and carry value will be moved to A7. So this is the concept behind the RAR instruction. Okay, LS from MSB to LSB. So this is the MSB. From MSB to LSB, then LSB to the carry, then carry to the MSB. Okay, now we'll see. So this is a value. Okay. So A value is 0, 3. So refer this instruction after MVI A, 0, 3. A value is 0, 3. Okay. So now RAR. So the next instruction RAR. So now we have to write A value in terms of binary. So 0 will be 0, 0, 0, 0, and 3 will be 0, 0, 1, 1. Now assume carry value as 0. Okay. So now we have to rotate this value through right along with carry. So after RAR, then the new value of accumulator is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So very simple. This value will be, the last value will be moved to carry, and carry value will be moved to the 8th bit. Okay. So now the new value of A is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So this is the first time RAR. Next instruction is after RAR we are getting this value. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So after the RAR, the next instruction is decrement B. Okay, so now already we have the B value. So B value is 0, 4. Okay, so decrement B means B value will be decrement by 1. So if it is decrement by 1, you will be getting 3. Okay, now the value of B is 3. So if it is 3, then we have to go for the next instruction, jump non-zero. If the B value is non-zero means then the control will be transferred from 2007 address to 2005 address. So now we have to check what is the condition here. So here B value is now it is 3. Sorry, 3. Yeah, 3. So 3 means it is non-zero. So non-zero means now the program will be again transferred to RAR. Okay. So again we are going to do the RAR. So once again, so this is a new value. So once again, if you do RAR, then the new value of accumulator is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So again we have to decrement the B value. So if you decrement the B value, now the new value of B is going to be 2. So now again it is non-zero. Non-zero means again we have to rotate right this value for one time. So if you again do one time, the new value of accumulator is 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So again after that we have to decrement B value. So if you decrement B value from 2, now it will become 1. So 1 is non-zero. So again program will be transferred to 2005. In 2005 we have RAR. So RAR will do once again. So now we'll be getting 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So after that again we have to decrement B value by 1. So from 1, if you decrement the value, it will be 0. So if it is 0 means the program will be terminated. So now the current value of A is 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So 0, 1, 1, 0 is C. 0, 0, 0, 0 is 0. Therefore the answer is 60H. I think many of you are saying A. So the question is A, which is 60H. So we'll move on to the 6th question. I think we have to make it fast. In an 8085 microprocessor, the content of the accumulator after the following instructions are executed, then will become dash. Okay. So we have to find what is the content of the accumulator after the 3 instructions. Okay. The first instruction is XOR A. Second instruction is MVIB, F0. Third one is SUBB. I think it's very simple. Can anyone guess what is the answer? What is the answer? A, B, C, D are given. So XOR A means answer will be 0. A equal to 0. Okay. So XOR A means A will be doing XOR with A. So if you do A with A XOR, then the value of A is going to be 0. Then in the next instruction, we are immediately moving the F0 value to B register. Then the third instruction, we are going to subtract the A value with B. Just do rough calculation and tell me what is the answer for the question. I think you can be able to easily guess what is the answer. Anyone know what is the answer? We have 4 options, A, B, C, D. Okay. Yeah, the first instruction is XOR A. So XOR A means A will be XOR with A will be XOR with A. Some of them are saying D. Yeah, D is the correct answer. A will be XOR with A, so it will be getting 0. Okay. So after that, MVIB comma F0 means moving the B value to F0. So now the B value is F0. Then subtract B. Subtract B means A will be subtract with B. So the value of A is 0, 0. B value is F0. So this is the manual calculation here. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 is A value. So F0. So F0 can be written in binary as 1, 1, 1, 1 is F and 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0. So if we subtract, so this first 4 bit will become 0. In the second 4 bit, this one is 0, this one is 1. Therefore, we have to get borrow from the previous term. So here it will become 2, here 1, 1, 1. So 2 minus 1, it will become 1. So 1 minus 1, it will become 0, then 0, 0. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 1 is 1, 0, 0, 0 is 0. Therefore, answer is 10H. I think many of us saying correct answer. So the options are answer D. So let's move on to the 7th question. The following sequence of instructions are executed by an 8085 microprocessor. So 3 instructions are given: LXI XP, 27FF. Then second instruction is called 1006, and in 1006 address we have pop fetch. So then we have to find what is the stack pointer and HL value after the 3 instructions. So 4 options are given: A, B, C, D. Can anyone able to guess what is the answer? Some tricky type question, I think. Three instructions are given, but you have to see what is the answer. Can anyone guess what is the answer for this question? Yeah. So here we have the stack pointer call instruction. So these 3 instructions are deals with stack pointer. So we have to draw the stack pointer first. So the first instruction is LXI SP, 27FF. Okay. LXI SP, 27FF. Many of you are saying C. Let's see what the answer. So LXI SP, 27FF means the 27FF value will be now loaded to stack pointer. Okay, stack pointer is 16 register. So 27FF is now moved to stack pointer here. Then the next instruction is call 1006. Okay, so call 1006 means now what will happen to the stack is, okay, so now the current address of stack is 27FF. After LXI instruction, the current address of stack pointer is 27FF. Okay, so now call 1006. So during call 1006, what will happen is now the call, before doing this call instruction, now the next program counter value is 1006, and call address is also 1006. Okay, so program counter value as well as the call address both are same. So actually what will happen is during call instruction, the next program counter, the current program counter value is now moved to the stack. Okay, so here the current stack pointer is 27FF. So while doing call instruction, now the current program counter value is now moved to the stack here. So what will happen to stack here is, so from 27FF it will be decrement by 1. So now it will become 27FE. So in that address it will move 10 here. Okay, actually this is the program counter value. Okay, so this has to be moved to stack. So after moving this value, now the new value of program counter is going to be 1006. Okay, so now 10 will be moved to the previous address 27FE. After that again it will be decrement by 1. So now it will become 27FD. So in that address it will move the 06 value. Okay, so after moving 06, now the current address of stack pointer is 27FD. Okay, now The next instruction is pop catch. Actually, here call 1006. So 1006 means the next instruction is same as the of the call instructions. There will be no skip address here. Okay, therefore, next instruction we have pop catch. So after the call instruction, we have the pop catch. There is no return instructions here. Okay, so pop catch, what will do pop catch is they will move the data from stack pointer to the HL pair. Okay, now the current address of stack pointer is 27FD. So now what will happen is this 1006. So the 06 will be moved to L and 10 will be now moved to H. Okay, so after pop of the value to HL, now the address of stack pointer will be 27FF. Okay, so this will be moved to L. After moving the data, the stack pointer is going to be 27FE. Okay, so while doing pop instruction, the stack pointer will be incremental. While doing push instruction, the stack pointer will be decremental. Okay, that is very important. So after moving 6, then we have to take out the 10. So to take 10 out, so then the address is again increment by 1. Then therefore it will become 27FE. So after moving the 10, then again the address will be increment by 1. Therefore now it will become 27FF. Okay, so now the address of stack pointer is 27FF and the value of HL value is 1006. Therefore answer is 6. I think many of you are saying the correct answer. So let's move on to the 8th question. So if CS, so C is nothing but chip selection. So CS is equal to A15 bar, A14, A13 is used as the chip select logic of a 4 KB RAM in an 8085 system. Then its memory range will be dash. So 4 options are given. So actually, what is given the given the question is they have chip selection address pin is given and the memory is 4 KB. So we have to find what is the range of the memory. That is, we have to find what is starting address and ending address of the memory. So 4 options are given A, B, C, D. So we have to find what is the answer. Can anyone guess? I think you have to draw the diagram. So after draw the diagram, you can able to guess what is the answer here. So let's see here. So here in the question itself, they have given it's a 4 KB RAM. Okay, so 4 KB RAM means 1 KB is yeah. So 4 KB RAM, the number of address line required is 12 address line. Okay, so 2 power 12, which is equal to 4 KB. I think 4096 bytes. 4096 bytes. I think so. To get 4096 bytes, so to utilize 4096 bytes from memory, we need a 12 address line. So in 8086, we have 16 bit address. So starting from A0 to A15. So totally in 8085, we have 16 bit address. Okay, starting from A0 to A15. If you take 8086, the address bus is 20 bit. Okay, so here for 4 KB of memory accessing, we need 12 address line. So we can take from A0 to A11. Okay, so we can take A0 to A11. So totally 12 lines are there. So this line is used to access the data from 4 KB RAM. So next very important thing is chip selection. Okay, chip selection is very important. So what the function of chip selection is, if the chip selection here, actually here it is not mentioned anything here. So if it is not mentioned anything here, means we have to guess the value of chip selection value as high. Okay, so if the chip selection value is high, means then only the memory will be activated. Okay, so after activated the memory, we can access the memory. Therefore chip selection is very important. So if you enable the chip selection pin, then only we can access the 4 KB of memory. So in chip selection, they have 3 pins. So A0 to A11 are already connected to address bus to the memory, and A13, A14, A15s are in the question itself they given A13, A14, A15s are connected to CS. So these 3 value are multiply. Multiply means AND gate. Okay. So actually here the value of actually chip selection value is active low, but in this question there is no term is specified. So therefore we can assume that chip selection value is high. So if the value is high, then the memory will be activated. Okay, so here A15, A14, A13. So these three pins are connected to chip selection. Okay, so this 3 pin value has to be high. If 3 values are high, then only chip selection will be high. So if it is high means then only the RAM will be activated. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to write the 16 address line starting from A0 to A15. Okay, so A0 to A15. So already A0 to A11 pins are given for the address bus, and 13, 14, 15 pins are connected to chip selection. The only thing which is only pin which is unused is A12. Okay, so now after writing A0 to A15, then we have to write the address of the memory. Actually here the address is from address bus is A0 to A11. So totally 12 address pins are there. So these 12 address pin is for to access the data from memory. Therefore, the starting address of the 4 KB RAM memory is from 0. So A0 0 to A11. Okay. So A0 0 to A11. So all the 12 pins will be 0, and ending address of the RAM is A0 to A11. All the pins will be high. Okay, so if all the pins are low, A0 to A11. If A0 to A11 all the pins are low, then it's a starting address. If A0 to A11 all the pins are high, that is going to be the ending address here. So therefore A0 to A11 all the pins will be high here. Next, A12. So A12 is not used here. Therefore we simply put X here. Don't care. Okay. Then 13, 14, 15. So 13, 14, 15 is connected to chip selection. So we have to choose the value of 13, 14, 15. But the condition here is chip selection value should be high here. So we have to get high here. Therefore, in order to get high, what should be the value of A13, A14, and A15? Okay. So A13 is 1. So therefore, we have to get A13 is 1. So if all the three values are high, then we can chip selection will be high. Okay. Therefore, A13 will be 1, A14 will be 1, but A15 is given as A15 bar. So therefore, if we give 0 to A15, then it will be complemented. Then after complementing, it will become 1. So if all the threes are 1, then the chip selection will become high. If it is high means then memory will be activated. Therefore, A13, A15 value is 110. Okay. Similarly, the ending address is also going to be same 011. If we change this value, automatically the memory will be deactivated. Therefore, the ending address for ending address also the chip selection value should be same thing 011. Okay. So now we have to group all the 4 pins. So A12 to A15. So these 4 pin we have to see here. So here X is 0. Sorry, X is don't care. So if you take X value as 0, it may be either 0 or 1. Okay. So if it is 0 means then it will become 0110. So 0110 means 6. Okay. Then here it is 4 zeros. Okay. So first we have to look at the starting address. So just see this line. So 0110 means 6. Then 0000 means 0. 0000 means 0. 0000 means 0. Therefore, the starting address is 6000. Next, we have to find what is the ending address here. So in ending address, we have 011x. So here we are assuming x value as 0. So 0 means again it is 6. Okay. Then here 1111. So 1111 means F. 1111 means F. 1111 means F. Okay. Therefore, the ending address is going to be 6F F. Okay. 6F F F. So this is one address range, and for second address range, we have to consider the x value as 1. So in previous address range, we are considering the x value as 0. So here we are going to consider the x value as 1. So if this 1 means, then the address is 0111. So 0111 means 7. So remaining thing will be same. So therefore, if you take x value as 1 means, then the starting address is going to be 7000 and the ending address is going to be 7. Yep. So the answer for the question is option D. I think many of you are saying D. So correct answer. Let's move on to the 9th question. In 9th question, they have given the program. Okay, so for this program, we have to for this program they have given the data. So in 2000 we have the data as 18. In 2001 we have the data as 10. In 2002 the data is given as 2B. So Then actually what we have to, actually this is a 5-mark question. Okay, so here we have to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 answers we have to find. So this is a 5-mark question. I think I asked from GATE 1992, I think. So here the memory address data is given 1810 2B are stored in 2000, 2001, 2002 address. Then what we have to do is, for first question, what does the above program do? So we have to find actually what is the program is doing. Then the second one is we have to find at the end of the program what is the value of A register, B register, C register, and HL register. Then the third one is what is the condition of carry and zero flag, and the fourth one is after execute the program, what is the content of memory location 2002, 2001, 2 and 2100. Okay. So this is a program given. Actually, if you refer the program, I think we have only shortage of time. So if you refer the program, actually this program is actually is doing the to find the largest number, to find the highest number. Okay, so in first instruction, MVIC, 03. Okay, MVIC, 03 means we are moving the data to C. Then LXI H, 2000 means we are loading the data to HL. Okay. Then MOV A, M means moving the data from memory to accumulator. So now the value of memory is pointed out by HL pair. So HL pair is 2000. So from 2000, we'll have some value that is already given. So in 2000, we have 18. So that value is now moved to accumulator. Then decrement C means, so now C value is decremented by 1. So now the C value is 2. So after 2, then what is the next instruction is increment H. So INX H means HL value will be incremented by 1. So if the HL value is incremented by 1, now the new HL value is going to be 2001. Okay. So after that, we have MOV B, M. So according to this instruction, we are moving the data from memory to B register. So now the memory address is going to be 2001. So from 2001, we already have data that is 10. So now the 10 is moved to B. Already we move A value was 18. Okay, now B value is moved to 10. Then we have to compare. So compare the A value with B. So while comparing, if the A value is greater and B value is smaller, means then the condition will be true. Okay, compare B. Then after compare B, we have the condition JNC, jump no carry. So if there is jump no carry means, then the program will be transferred to this address. Okay, so according to that instruction, A is 10. Okay, A is 18. Okay, A is moved to B, 18 is moved to A, 10 is moved to B. So if we compare 18 with 10, so A is greater and B is smaller. So while subtracting, there will be no carry. So therefore the condition is true here. So if it is true means now program will be skipped to this address. So in that address again we are going to decrement C. Okay, so already C is decrement by 1 time. So previous value of C is 2. So again if you decrement C value, now it will become 1. Okay, so after 1 we have to check what is the value of C, that is JNZ. So jump non-zero means loop 1. So this is a loop 1. Actually here is a mistake here. It's not loop 1. Okay, so if it is non-zero, then program will be transferred to here. So here what is again doing is increment H. Already previous value of HL value is 2001. So if you again increment the HL value, it will become 2002. So again MOV B, M. So from 2002 we have some data. That data is moved to B here. Okay, so in 2002 we have 2B. So that value is moved to B here. So now again you have to compare B with A. So already A value is already A value is 18. Now the value of B value is 2B. Okay, so after that decrement C. So decrement okay, so compare B. So comparing the A value is 18, B value is 2B. So we have to compare here. So if it is no carry means, then the program will be 2 here. Okay, so according to the instruction, it is no carry. Therefore, the program will be to decrement C. So now C value is going to be 0. So 0 means then the condition is fail. So condition fails means STA 2100. So STA 2100 means storing the current accumulator value to the 2100 address. Okay, so now the value of A is 18. Okay, so that value is now okay. So that will be moved to the STA. Okay, so after that we have the stop instructions. Okay, so this is the actually program happen. So from the program we can able to understand that. So here we are going to find what is the largest number. So first two value will be compare. So if the first value is greater means, then we have to compare the first value with third value. So this is the logic behind the program. Okay, so therefore the program will found the highest number. Okay, highest number presents in the given memory location. Okay, so we have found the answer for the first one, and for the second one, at the end of the program, what will be the A, B, C, H, and L? Okay, so A value is now the highest value is going to be 2B. So therefore the A value is now going to be 2B, and B value is also 2B. So C is nothing but C value is already decrement all to 0. Therefore C value is now going to be 0. And HL value is finally we are incrementing HL value by 2002. So 2002 is going to be the HL value. So similarly carry is this is the second one. So the content of register A, B, C, H, and L is now going to be 2B, 2B00 and 2002. So next one is the condition of carry and zero flag. So here the carry is going to be 1 because while comparing the 18 with 2B, so we'll have the carry. Okay, so while comparing the 18 with 2B, we'll have the carry. Therefore, it will become 1. While decrement the C, so while decrement C by every time, you will be getting C value as 0. Therefore, zero flag is also going to be 1 here. Okay, so this is a third answer. And the last one is the content of memory location 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2100. Actually, the content in that address will not be changed. Okay, so therefore, in 2000 we have 18, in 2001 we have 10, and 2002 we have 2B, and in 2100 we have 2BH. So 2B is the highest value. If you take 18, 10, 2B, so 2B is the highest value. So if it is the highest value, means that is stored in STA 2100. So this is the answer for the question. Okay. So let's move on to the 10th question. The decoding circuit shown in the figure has been used to generate the active low chip select signal for a microprocessor peripheral. So the address line are designed as A0 to A7 for IO address. Okay, so they have given circuits. So we have to find what is the IO address of A0 to A7. Okay, just refer the diagram. So 4 options are given. So we have to check one by one. Okay, so if 60H is the address, means what is the chip selection here. And very important thing is here is clearly defined that the chip selection value should be low active signal. Okay, therefore here the output should be 0 here. So if you want to get 0, then what should be the input from A2 to A7? So I think it's a very easy answer. So just we are going to apply all the value to this address line. So after applying this value here, we have to check for which one we are getting 0 for the chip selection. Okay, can you guess what is the answer? Yeah, if you take the only thing is we have to take one by one. Okay, so here in option A, the address is 60H to 63H. Okay, so if you write 60H, okay, if you write 60H in A0 to A7, so this is 0110. So 0110 is 60, and 000 is 0. So this is 60H. and second address is 63. So this is starting address, this is ending address. So if you write 63 means, then it will become 01100011 here. Okay, so now let me see what is the answer we are getting for the CS here. Actually, this is the correct answer. So here A2, if you take starting address, this is starting address, this is ending address. If you take starting address A2, so A2 is here, it is 0, and A3 is also 0. Just refer the first starting address. Okay, A2 is 0, A3 is 0, and A4 A4 is 0, A5 is 1. Just refer the starting address. Okay, A6 is 1, and A7 is 0. Okay, so here if it is 0 0 means it is a XNOR. Okay, so 0 0 means the output of the XNOR is going to be 1 here, and here it is 0 1. So A4 A5 is 0 1 means here the output is going to be 0 XNOR. This is also XNOR. So all the three are XNOR. So here it is going to be 0. And for here it is 1 and 0. So 1 and 0 means again it is 0. So here if you 0 0 is applied to, this is NOR gate. Okay, so if you apply 0 0 to NOR gate, you will be getting 1 here. So already we got 1 here. So if 1 1 is applied to a NAND gate, what will happen to the chip selection? You will be getting 0. Similarly, if you take for the ending address, so ending address and starting address both are same. Okay, if you take the ending address, here also we have A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, all are same. So for ending address also you're getting the chip selection value as 0. So therefore answer is option A. If you take option B, so if you take for option B and option C, that's what you have written here. If you take option B, you'll be getting chip selection value as 1. If you take option C, you'll be getting the chip selection value as once again 1 here. And for option D also, if you take option D also, you'll be getting chip selection value as high. Okay, so therefore the answer for the question is option A, 60H to 63H. Okay, I think time is 12:17. I think we can end with the 10th question. And actually, I prepared 15 questions. I tried to complete the 15 questions in 1 hour, but we almost take 115. We take almost 75 minutes. So you take that question as a practice question. Okay. So try what is the answer for the question. We'll stop with the question. So how will you replace the two NAND gates in the circuit with 1 3 to 8 decoder without changing the memory size or the memory address? Assume that the decoder has one active high enable, one active low enable. Okay, so the diagrams are given. So we have to find five answers. Actually, this is a 5-mark question. So the question number 1 is, if you we have to instead of replacing, we have to replace the NAND gate. So here we have NAND gate and NAND gate. So we have to replace this NAND gate by 3 to 8 decoder. Okay. So for 3 to 8 decoder, what will happen to the chip selection? That is the one question. And second question is, what is the total size of the memory? So we have to find what is the total size of the memory. And the third question is, what are the starting and ending address of chip 1? Okay. So just you can refer clue. I will give you the clue. Just you refer the address line of chip 1 and chip 2. So from the address line itself, you can say what is the what is the size of the memory. And similarly, by using this A0 to A11 and A11 to A15, by using that address, we can find the starting and ending address. The one thing is very important. So here the chip selection is a low active signal. Okay, therefore here the answer should be 0 here. If it is 0 means, then only the memory will be enabled. For to get 0, what should be the value of A11 to A15 here and A11 to A15 here, and from that you have to find what is starting and ending address. And the last options are the memory chip or RAM or ROM. Okay, so we have to see what is a memory chip. So I think from this pins you can able to easily guess whether it is a RAM or ROM. Okay, so I have given all the clue. So just based on the clue, you can you have to find what is the answer. Okay, so I will send you the practice question to the WhatsApp. So try this question and tell me what is the answer. In tomorrow session, uh, or tomorrow session, or by tomorrow, we will share you the answer for the 11th question. Okay. So thank you for listening this session. Okay. So if you have any queries, okay, post the question to sttpece2020 at gmail.com. Okay. So once again, I thank you for all the participants.